The delay in the reopening of school for some learning institutions has caused frustration in some quarters already racked with anxiety. During the height of the COVID-19 induced pandemic, a major thrust was placed on construction to stimulate the economy. However, many schools in need of much needed repair work and renovations were seemingly handled at the last minute. Second Vice President of the St. Lucia National Youth Council, Nyc Laments, says the reoccurring issue surrounding last-minute renovation of school plans needs to be urgently addressed.
Last year we had a similar issue with Enchipo, Bocage and Sarah Simmons. And again, it's very difficult to understand how with the time that COVID would have afforded us with the school closures, you still had many schools being behind on the reopening. And for us, it's a matter of our officials being very sensitive as it pertains to the education of our young people. We think that a proper program should be put in place which allows for a timeline to which school should be completed by, school renovation should be completed by.
COVID-19 forced the education sector to radically change its settings and implement mechanisms to enforce strict adherence to protocols. The second vice president of the NYC says too often the education sector is placed on the back burner when it should be at the forefront.
The fact that at this point you would still have some schools, doing some little touch-ups here and there, it does give you the impression that not much emphasis is being placed on the preparation of our school settings for the students. Particularly at this time where I think it's a matter of generating strong public confidence in what's happening, because many of our students do have respiratory challenges, many of our students do have other challenges, and if you're going into a class where there's still a strong odor of paint, and there's still dust and everything which does contribute negatively towards a proper school environment, it does not augur well for the development of our sector or just generally our appreciation of students as major stakeholders.
Laments advises education officials on best practices to avoid delays in classroom instruction in light of students having already lost valuable time during the COVID-19 lockdown.
So it means moving forward that the ministry needs to be very sensitive as it pertains to that, and we need to at least set a strong timeline leading up to the reopening of school, which does allow the public to be aware as to when are those developments supposed to commence, as well as a time designated for the completion.
The Enchipo Secondary, Moshi Combined and Lazetang Combined School all suffered delayed openings. Ministry officials announced that these institutions will reopen on Monday, 14th September 2020. Sola Alfred, HTS News Force.